So today I'm going to show you how to make a radiograph of the hand. And to get started, we've got a few things together here. This is our image receptor. It works like film, and we're going to take the picture of the hand on this image receptor. And for this exam, we're going to use a phantom hand because we can't expose a person to radiation for just an experiment. So this hand has a skeleton in it, and we're going to put it on our image receptor. And we're going to take a picture here in just a minute. We've got a few things to do before we are ready to expose the picture. This is a lead apron, and normally we would put this on our patient to protect them from radiation, and we would put it over their shoulders, and it fastens behind the patient. And also, if a technologist stays in the room during the exposure, they would keep this apron on. But because I'm not staying in the room, I don't have to wear the apron for this exposure. So to take a radiograph of the hand, we have to get the patient in a certain position. So for this hand, since we've just got this hand and not a whole body, it's pretty easy. We're going to lay the hand down and make sure it's in the middle of our image receptor. Now, a technologist will use lead markers to distinguish between the right and left side of the hand. And because this hand is laying in the right hand position, I'm going to put my marker here. And that way the radiologist, the doctor, will know for sure that this is a right hand. And the R stands for right, and then we have the technologist's initials on here. So after I get the hand in the correct position, I'm ready to turn my light on and do the last steps before taking the picture. So I push this button on our x-ray tube, and it opens this light field. So anywhere in this light field, x-rays are going to hit. So our goal is to have the smallest area of light for x-rays to hit the anatomy. So I'm going to adjust the light field to match the size of the area that we want the x-rays to expose our film. So I can adjust it up and down, and I can adjust it side to side. So now if you look, I've got the hand, the anatomy that we're looking at in the middle of the film, and I have got the light covering just the area of anatomy that we want to see. So at this point, we're ready to take our picture. And at this point, we would make sure our patient is shielded and we can step outside the room. And we always want to make sure that the door to the x-ray room is closed. And this protects anybody on the outside of the room from radiation exposure. Then we're going to come over here to our control panel, and this is where we set our technical settings for our picture. And I've selected hand, and we've got our proper technique exposures, and we're ready to take our picture. So when we do this, I'm going to push this button. It's called a rotor. We're going to push it halfway down, and it's going to start the x-ray tube, and then I push it all the way down, and that beep means that we made an exposure. So now we're ready to go get our image receptor and process the film. So we would take the patient's hand off the film and just bring it with us. And we have a processor here that's going to read this cassette or this detector, and our image is going to pop up on a computer screen. So we'll give it a few minutes to process. And we'll know that it's finished when the film pops back up, when the detector pops back up. This may seem like a long time, but years ago, not too many years ago, x-rays were processed using film and chemicals, and it took a lot longer than just sticking it in a processor that we do today. All right, so we've processed our image, and here it is on the computer screen. And as you may or may not know, the picture is upside down. So we have to turn it a certain way so the doctor will be able to see it properly. And here we have a picture of a hand. And there's my lead marker, and we can see all the anatomy. And this white space right here is where we closed our light down, and so that we only exposed the anatomy that we needed. And that's how a radiograph of a hand is made.